weather forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
It was cloudy, unfortunately, all day today, and we'll see the clouds overnight tonight and for the day tomorrow, and actually for a lot of the next week or so. We'll talk much more about that. Right now, temperatures remain pretty consistent, still in the upper 30s across the entire area. 36, though, in Bloomington, 38 in Pontiac, 41 in Petersburg, 40 in Paris, 37 in Springfield, Taylorville, and Decatur, and 38 in Champaign, which is where we have our Adams Memorial weather camera up on our roofing dog on it, still showing cloudy skies. And like I said, we're going to see quite a bit of that for the next few days. Winds are pretty light, though, tonight, which is nice. But our day tomorrow will come with not only cloud cover as well as warmer temperatures, but rain showers as well. We're expecting the rain showers to be during the second half of the afternoon, and we'll time things out with future track in just a moment. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
It's really important to take seriously.
Hospitals and public health departments are working together to battle coronavirus. What you need to know about testing. There are plenty of rumors circulating about the virus. What the National Guard is trying to set straight.
Kids have the opportunity to feel like they're part of their school still, even though they're at home.
Just because kids aren't in class doesn't mean they can't have school spirit. How students in one district are showing theirs off.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
We've been working to try to calm those fears in the community, inside of our clinic.
That's a big job as the coronavirus pandemic continues around the world, and hospitals in central Illinois team up with health districts to combat it. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons. As of tonight, 12 people have died from COVID-19 in Illinois. Carle Foundation, OSF Healthcare, and Christie Clinic will start sharing daily briefings on their efforts to test people and contain the virus. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen has more on what you need to know.
There are now almost 1,300 cases of coronavirus in Illinois. That number has been rising daily, and that's why medical facilities are doing what they can to get people tested. Medical centers are being flooded with questions.
They are calling a lot. They are wanting to be tested. They're concerned that they've been exposed.
The coronavirus pandemic has created a surge of uncertainty in people who think they might be infected. Amidst the concern of the rapid spread of the virus, medical centers like Christie Clinic, OSF, and Carle Foundation have made testing sites specifically designated to COVID-19.
Really controlled environment that doesn't have the patient come into the building to expose themselves to other patients or team members.
People call in ahead of time to make sure they meet the age and symptom criteria to get tested. Right now, tests are not being done for people who are mildly ill or who don't have symptoms.
We send someone out to the car, we do the testing there, and they get to drive home until their test results back.
Testing is still limited because of a shortage of kits and protective supplies, so doctors continue to urge people to take precautions.
We're all worried about things that could happen, but the most important thing is things you have control over. Engage and participate in things you have control over.
Keep at least 6 feet distance between people. Sanitize and wash your hands frequently, and only go out in public when you need to.
It's really important to take seriously. So even if you're not sick, it's very important for us to follow social distancing, stay home when you can.
Symptoms can take days to show. So for the sake of yourselves and others, doctors ask everyone to be socially responsible.
Until we come up with a vaccine, the virus is going to run its course, and the best thing we can do is to slow down the spread of the virus through self-isolation.
You can find contact information and patient resources for testing sites in central Illinois on our website at WCIA.com. In the newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
New at 10, Walgreens has confirmed an employee at a Decatur store is being evaluated for coronavirus. The person worked at the store on North State Route 48. Walgreens says they haven't been in the store since last Friday. They say they temporarily closed the store to disinfect it and notified the Macon County Board of Health. That store was reopened yesterday. Illinois is ramping up a statewide effort to manufacture masks and ventilators to prepare for a surge of patients. Governor Pritzker is pushing to make new personal protective equipment for doctors and nurses. He announced a call to action today with a new alliance of 400 companies. They're jumping to action to help make gear to protect those medical medical professionals. The governor is also calling on tattoo parlors, nail salons, and elective surgery centers to donate any masks or gear they may have. If you have seen this viral video circulating on social media, there is no need to be alarmed. The Illinois National Guard says the military vehicles are not theirs, and there has been no discussion of using the Guard to enforce a quarantine. Adjutant General Richard NEELY says the National Guard has had its hands full fighting the rumor mill on social media over the last few days.
It's great to actually get that out in front of the media, to dispel any rumors that the National Guard has any weapons. We're not doing any policing action. We're not, doing any kind of work at all like that. When we show up in camouflage, we tend to draw a crowd, but we're not bringing weapons. We're not bringing anything like that. We're bringing our professional skills to help out.
The few dozen National Guardsmen who have been deployed are helping to scope out old hospitals that could be converted into emergency overflow facilities. Governor Pritzker had a phone call with President Trump after a battle on Twitter. It happened over the weekend. J.B. Pritzker compared the president to, quote, the carnival barkers that are tweeting from the cheap seats, end quote. Pritzker was responding to a critical tweet from Trump, who said the governor and a very small group of certain other governors should not be blaming the federal government for their own shortcomings. House Representative Rodney Davis was live on WCIA this morning, and he spoke against fighting on social media during this pandemic.
Let's not send tweets out with profanity just because you think it's cute. This is serious business right now, and I know the governor's new. We've been through many disasters with different presidents in my time in Congress, and it's time we work together.
Pritzker has said Illinois only received a fraction of what it requested from the National Strategic Stockpile. The governor said in today's phone call the president was, quote, responsive to Illinois' needs. Trump asked Pritzker what the state needed and said he would see if he could get it. Courthouses across central Illinois are cutting staff and limiting services for the next few weeks, but there are some exceptions in emergency cases. Those include emergency hearings for orders of protection, juvenile detention hearings, and shelter care hearings. Non-emergency cases, jury trials, small claims, traffic, and misdemeanor cases will all be rescheduled. The Champaign County and Macon County courthouses will be closed for general business until April 10th. Vermilion County closed until April 17th. If you are scheduled to appear in court during that time period, your case will be continued to a later date, and a notice will be sent to the last known address of the parties involved. Public meetings are going virtual this week after the governor mandated it would not break the Open Meetings Act to do so. Urbana City Council members urged people tuning into their meeting tonight to please be patient. It's going to take some time adjusting and troubleshooting for things to run smoothly, but this is the safest option right now. Urbana's mayor feels Champaign County is ahead of the curve when it comes to things like this.
I think the reason Champaign County has gotten a head start on this is that we've had very good channels of communication set up prior. We've worked together in many intergovernmental different types of collaboration.
If you want to participate in public comment, many organizations are doing that over email or online submission forms. Families across Champaign stood outside of their homes tonight to pledge their school spirit. At 6 p.m., they recited the Pledge of Allegiance, their school pledge, and or a family-selected pledge or song. It was a way to unite as a school district. WCIA 3's Emily Braun visited one neighborhood.
Being out of school has been lonely, and it's been tough for members of the Champaign School District. But who knew something as short and sweet as the Pledge of Allegiance would be enough to make them feel like their community is together again. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. It's to school spirit for which they stand. These families stood with a smile as they recited the lines they know so well. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Followed by their own school pledge.
Today is a new day, a day that I will promise to respect myself, others, and my school.
Kids have the opportunity to feel like they're part of their school still, even though that they're at home. So I think it's cool.
Cool, considering the circumstances.
I must first give respect if I want to receive respect.
Remember, there's always somebody who cares about you here at Westview.
But teacher Lindsay Taylor wishes more than anything she could be back with her third grade class.
I miss you. It's hard. It's my first year teaching, so I never really expected this to happen. So yeah, tears have been shed. I miss them. I hope I can see them soon. Hope they're having fun at home with their families, though.
Quentin Roundtree, who's home with his, says his greatest hope is to be reunited with his friends and teachers. But for now, he and his neighbors are happy COVID-19 can't squash their sense of school spirit.
Made me feel proud of my school and just wanted to represent.
In Champaign, Emily Braun, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
And the school spirit did not end there. Families went back outside to shine flashlights into the sky at 7:30 tonight with this message.
Good night, everyone at Southside and in the Unit 4 School District. Sleep well. We can't wait to see our friends and teachers again soon.
The school district says they want families to keep doing things like this in the future while they're still in home isolation. Some people can't leave their homes to get supplies, so volunteers are bringing items to them instead. Plus, one woman is taking it upon herself to help her neighbors, what she's doing for free. And later, the season may be over for Illinois men's basketball, but they still had some great moments. We'll count them down.